I've got some things with me this morning here, and I don't want you to touch them, but I want you to look at them. What is this? A measuring cup. What's it made of? You sure it's not plastic? You know, things can deceive you. Is that plastic or is it glass? Okay, we'll see in a minute, okay? And I got something else here. I got this. You think that's glass? You sure it's not plastic? It is plastic? You see now? Now you believe it's plastic? You don't know what it is. You don't get to touch it. No, you just have to look at it. What is this? What is this made of? For sure it's made of glass, you think. You sure about that? You think it's plastic? Okay, you think it's plastic. And then I got another one here. You know, things look like different things. What is this one? That's definitely plastic? You sure? Who thinks it's glass? Huh? All right, I got one last thing here to see. Uh-oh. That made a noise. Yeah, you thought it was plastic, didn't you? Now you changed your mind. Now you think it's glass. What is this? This is glass, you think, really? What do you think? Now, you're right. This is glass. You got this one right. This one is glass, although it could be plastic. What is glass made of? It's made of sand. How'd you know that? Isn't that neat? Now, what are humans made of? Skin, but what's skin made of? Your head, your eyes, your hair, your arms, your face. What is humans made of? If this is made of sand, and you're right, it is made of sand, what in the world are human beings made of? Dirt. They're made of dirt. You know, for hundreds of years, science thought it was so smart and used to laugh at Christians for saying that the Bible says that humans are made of dirt, that God made us from dirt. And they laughed at that. But you know what scientists are now have figured out? We're made out of dirt. Took them hundreds of years to figure it out. But they're now concluding that Christians were right all the time, that the Bible didn't lie, that human beings are made out of dirt. Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure this out, because if you let somebody die and lay in the ground, don't embalm them, you let them lay in the ground, guess what they turn into? Dirt. So, they ought to have been able to figure that out. What did you say this was? You're right, it is plastic. And plastic is made from oil. That's correct, it is. And when we look at this, what did you think this was? Glass, so that's made from sand. It is made from sand. And you know, when you take and you go to the beach and you see sand on the ground and you pick it up and you light a match and you take and hold the sand in your hand and light a match, will it turn into a glass? No, it won't. You know why it won't? It takes 1,700 degrees Celsius to be able to turn sand into glass. And then it turns into a blob. You take and you hold it in your hand, the sand in your hand, and let me take and put a blowtorch on it and heat it up to 1,700 degrees centigrade. And then it'll become a blob. So will your hand, by the way. And when it becomes a blob, then you take and you pick it up with a tube that has that you can blow air through it. And you blow air onto that thing and it begins to enlarge. I've seen this done. And you can take that blob and begin to blow it up and it begins to shape. And then you take and you roll it on the side down there and you form it into a glass. You can form it into that glass. You can form it into this glass. You can form it into this glass. And then all these little funny things that are on the side right in here, you take and you just prick it and you do things like that, or else you roll it on a surface that's made out of heavy rock, because you can't do it on metal because metal will boil. And you take and you make things like this to where they look beautiful. And so is this glass, you were right. The only plastic that was here was this one. And you can tell it's plastic because, see, it's got water in it. See the water inside? You want to drink it? I'll pour it on you. It's a fake. There's two sides. See in here? The little ridge in there? That's a second ridge in there so that the water is trapped in between so it looks like you still got water and then you can drink it. All right. Well, you got it. Your science lesson today right. Humans are made out of dirt. And glass is made out of sand. In fact, whenever we make glass, it takes 75% sand, and then the rest are some other chemicals that allow it to have color or texture. They're always, if you made it totally out of sand and you put it in water, guess what would happen? It would dissolve. It would just turn into a milky mess. But you have to take and add some other chemicals into it to be able to keep it hard to where it'll stay in there. Well, God's right. The Bible's right again. It's just amazing how people refuse to believe the Bible because it always finds out that the Bible is correct. Thank you all for helping me to remember that this morning, okay? Thank you very much. You can go to Children's Church now, okay?